kind of strange. What is it? Old man weird at this point? Because apparently it was another one of those, I don't know, kind of calendar filler holidays. One of those things that can organically trend on social media. A national prayer day. I don't know. Somebody more religious might have some kind of a connection to this fabricated holiday. But yeah, apparently the president is supposed to come out, have a big speech about it, and lead everybody in some sort of a prayer. But normally when you're doing an action such as that, you should probably mention the subject to whom you're sending your thoughts and your well wishes towards. But not for old Joe, proving that between the ears there's nothing but prime fertilizer for hair plugs, and he uses the shades in order to block the overflow and the cartoon little stench waves. So yeah, there's a little brief on this one. President Joe Biden took an odd approach Thursday to the National Day of Prayer. He issued a proclamation in which he mentioned racial justice and climate change, but neglected to mention God. If you're going to be doing a National Prayer Day or giving a speech in that vein, shouldn't you be mentioning God, or the thing? This is the same Biden who ran on the promise to fight for the soul of our nation, just doesn't know where it came from. Yeah, a whole bunch of weird stuff has happened with the Biden administration today, and I know not too many people are going to watch this because whenever I put Biden in the tags or in the little hashtag thing, I don't know. I think these fucking videos just end up getting memory hold, but who knows? I think it's important, and if we can just make fun of Biden, I call that a victory for the day, because I don't feel bad about doing it either, because within a couple of hours, he doesn't remember what is said, or worst case scenario, he'd challenge me to a push-up contest, but he'd find himself in a terrible position. Not too dissimilar to the one that Kamala makes him assume whenever she comes into the Oval Office. But here's one. We're going to be talking about policies before we get into the job debacle, I suppose. Another lawsuit has been filed against the White House, the Biden-Harris administration. Joe Biden. Somebody in charge of that regime. Farmers sue Biden administration over racist COVID relief plan. I don't think I've mentioned this, but just a little brief overview. There's going to be a bailout to farmers, but it's going to be disproportionately affecting farmers of color, which is a weird way of distributing reparations, I suppose. A disabled white farmer has sued President Joe Biden administration over his COVID-19 loan forgiveness program, alleging he can't participate because he is white. Adam Faust, a white resident of Chilton, Calumet County in Wisconsin, is one of 5 Midwestern farmers who filed a lawsuit on April 6th that accuses the federal government of violating their constitutional rights. Yeah, what is that, 14th or 15th Amendment, where you can't delegate, government funds based on race, which is exactly what this does. The other plaintiffs are farmers from Wisconsin, Minnesota, South Dakota, and Ohio, who have direct loans with the Farm Service Agency, or USDA, backed loans, and are otherwise ineligible for the loan forgiveness program in ARPA, except for the color of their skin. Attorneys for the Wisconsin Institute for Law and Liberty filed a suit on behalf of white farmers in a federal court in Green Bay, Wisconsin. I guess if the Packers are serious about bringing in competition for the potentially vacant quarterback position, we know one guy who's not going to be showing up. Anyways, as per the lawsuit, the American Rescue Plan of 2021, ARPA, provides $4 billion of loan forgiveness for socially disadvantaged farmers and ranchers. What do they mean by socially disadvantaged? Maybe farmers who have been oppressed by certain governmental policies, growing crops but then have nowhere to ship them or sell them? Nah, something a little bit more basic than that. The phrase socially disadvantaged includes explicit racial classification, according to the lawsuit, which states that in order to be eligible for the ARPA's debt relief, farmers and ranchers must be Black, Native American, Hispanic, Asian American, or Pacific Islander. It contends that other farmers, white farmers, for example, are ineligible, and which also account for an overwhelming majority of farmers. I don't think that I should have had to point that out, but that's just the facts. So yeah, what's this up to? Like the third big lawsuit against the Biden administration so far? And this one just seemed fucking plain as day. As soon as I heard that this was a part of one of those huge relief programs, I just knew immediately somebody was going to end up suing on this because, yeah, there's specific language within the United States Constitution. The amendments, like I'm saying, it's either, I know it's not the 13th, that one's pretty special in and of itself. It's either the 14th or the 15th that specifically prohibits actions such as this. And this is the fucking nutty world we find ourselves in. So even if you wanted to, say you lost your job or something, or you find yourself trying to make a side hustle during these trying times, trying to make a little extra scratch for yourself, well, you're not alone. And you remember Biden and his infrastructure plan, one of those $1 trillion programs. Oh yeah, we're going to be making so many big jobs. We had all of those firms that I paid off to tell you that there's going to be way more jobs than what Trump could provide for you, who I'm sure he's going to invoke in order to run cover for this because, God, it doesn't even seem that long ago. I think that was probably yesterday when we compared and contrast the red states and the blue states, and the blue states performed tangibly worse than red states when it came to job losses. And there was supposed to be 1 million jobs gained during this time, okay? And 266,000 new jobs created is the final tally. That right there is no way to polish that turd. This is a total disaster. A shocking mess. The U.S. economy added just 266,000 jobs in April. Unemployment ticks up. Yeah, but he's supposed to be the job-creating president. But he's the nice guy. He doesn't send mean tweets. He's working class Joe. He's out there pounding the pavement for you. Just don't look at his schedule and realize that the dude works Monday through Friday, potentially, maybe, sort of, kind of, between the hours of like noon and 4. Don't ask him anything about his schedule and how he's skirting his responsibilities for the highest office in the land, like a reporter for Newsmax, and then Jen Psaki cuntily calls back to her and it's like, oh, you work for Newsmax? Instead of addressing the heart of the problem. But she's going to have a tough time on Monday's press conference to try and answer for this. The U.S. economy added just 266,000 jobs in April, and the unemployment rate ticked up to 6.1%. The Labor Department said in its monthly labor assessment Friday, smashing expectations, not in a good way whatsoever. Oh, but to be fair, if you just look at that number, that's just up from 6% in March when it comes to unemployment claims. So I don't know what you're really talking about here. Oh, just missing expectations horribly. How about that? This was far below expectations. Oh, shit. Should have read ahead, I suppose. Analysts surveyed by Econoday had predicted Friday's report would have shown between 755,000 and 1.25 million. Oh, so close. They got on the high end of that 0.25 million. Workers added to payrolls in April. The median forecast was for 938,000 and the unemployment rate of 5.8%. Oh no, that's supposed to be down from March. Oh, okay. Oh, so this is all a disaster. Oh, no. The disappointing numbers for April could be a sign that hiring is being held back by enhanced unemployment benefits in schools that have not reopened full time. And we're heading into the summer in the second year of this fucking insanity. So I don't see schools reopening and creating any new jobs in the near future. So, they're supposed to be part of those good union jobs where people can get a fucking living wage and $15 per hour, and all those businesses that are right on the cusp trying to employ some fucking snot-nosed punk out of high school. All of a sudden, for a part-time job to which they would have been paid a fair wage for, they'd have to be compensated for $15 an hour. Guess what? That ain't gonna fucking happen. That ain't gonna help your cause. But you know what? He likes ice cream, and he wears Ray-Ban sunglasses. He's a cool dude. Come on, man. In April, average hourly earnings increased by 21 cents to $30.17, a 0.7% increase following a decline of 4 cents in the prior month. Average hourly earnings for private sector production and non-supervisory employees rose by 20 cents to 25.45 dollars. The data for April suggests that the rising demand for labor associated with the recovery from the pandemic may have put upward pressure on wages. Yeah, that doesn't explain anything. That just means that there's a scarcity of jobs out there. Should almost let these states start to open up. Manufacturing shed 18,000 jobs. Led down by automaker employment declining by 27,000, wood product producers shed 7,000 jobs, perhaps reflecting extremely high prices for lumber. Yeah, they're up over 400% over last year, but Orange Man bad. Employment at food and beverage stores fell. Employment in food and beverage stores, you know, those places that are slowly reopened, $49,400. Gas station employment fell by 8,900 people. The temporary administrative health services sector contracted by 111,000 jobs in April. Oh my God. None of this is really good, and it just gets into a lot more boring numbers. But yeah, there is no recovery from this one. This is a massive failure, which you probably won't be hearing from anybody. I'm sure NBC and ABC are just going to go ahead and sweep that one underneath the rug. You wouldn't want to discourage anybody from supporting Old Man, because they'll probably just run a poll over this weekend saying, asking their Democratic friends if they feel safer because Biden's allowing them to stay home and be safe from big scary coof virus. And then they'll have some absurd number to come out of the weekend to let everybody flaunt on these Sunday morning news shows. And just to cap everything off, because Biden's first 100 days have been such a tremendous success. What was it, like 85% of Democrats believe that he's doing a great job? Sure. Biden misses goal of 2 million jobs created in the first 100 days. Oh, come on, I got those shovel-ready jobs, and raising taxes on people are going to make them want to hire more people. That's how math works. The White House prepared to celebrate a jobs-gained milestone of 2 million on Friday under President Joe Biden during his first 100 days, but those plans were shattered by the devastating jobs report for April. Punchbowl News reported Friday morning that the senior White House staffers were watching the jobs estimate of created 700,000 jobs, eager to promote the record number of jobs created during Biden's first 100 days. Oh my God, yeah, I just remembered. He made reference to that in his joint session address. I've created the most jobs in the first 100 days. I was being a little bit overzealous, man. I was waiting for that forecast to come in. And then I was like, what? Oh, well, I won't have to retract that. Everybody will forget, and I won't be asked any questions about it, because when's my next press conference? Oh, the debate's in 3 years? Okay, cool. I'll answer questions then, man. The U.S. economy adds 700,000 jobs in the latest report. That will be 2 million new jobs in the first 100 days of the new administration. The report read, Joe Biden would be the first president to reach 2 million jobs over that time period, when the White House was already scheduled for a 11:30 a.m. event for the president to deliver remarks on jobs report before leaving Washington, D.C. for the weekend to go play Mario Kart and be really relatable, man, and go get some soft serve in Delaware, presumably to celebrate a gigantic milestone. But instead, he warbled on, and that was the first story. Gave the address without mentioning God, because he has left the building because he couldn't find employment either. Let's talk about some science, shall we? Because we got some fucking weird stuff. You guys heard about that rocket that's going to be potentially crashing somewhere? Where's it going to land? Don't know. It's coming from China, so it's probably just going to go ahead fucking fall apart before it even breaches a dangerous level. But let's talk about it, shall we? I thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I've been Don Consuelo. I want you to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.